Southside, can't get enough, can't get enough. Eastside, Westside, worldwide. Ride out. Nah, I ain't got no kids yet, but this right here's for practice. I hate to get the seats in the bins wet, but that's how good your ass is. Make an old man get his glasses, make Wesley pay his taxes, then follow your moves all week on Twitter. Probably make a gay nigga reconsider. You're now rockin' with the best, man. Dress game down to the sex game. Won't brag, but the boy been blessed, man. Let you play with the stick.
What's going on, guys? So today's video is going to be a little bit different from the videos I have done so far on this channel, and the reason for that is I want this one to be a little bit more raw. I want to be totally honest about my story, my experience on Instagram, and just, you know, over the past couple of years with growing on social media, and hopefully you guys can learn something from it. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Max Naughtonson, and on Instagram I go by Max Not Fit. That is kind of a pun, not really. I guess it's like Max is not fit, like ironically, I don't know. Anyways, that's my tag. I've currently got roughly 55,000 followers. It fluctuates a little bit, but it's been in that range for a while. I wanna share with you guys how exactly I got to that point of having that many followers, and kind of what my deal is now, what my plans are with that following, and yeah, really just elaborate a bit, tell my story. So I started my page the summer of 2017, that was May 2017, like very end of the month. I had been thinking about it for a couple weeks, like starting a fitness page. I'd seen a couple of my friends do it, people I knew, and I thought the idea of like being a little more public and, you know, putting myself in the spotlight seemed exciting, especially because I had been working out for a couple of years. I had a pretty solid physique, and I was proud of the work I put in, so I wanted to show people that. I wanted to showcase it a bit and also help people along the way. I think that was definitely an important thought from the start, but I kind of think just the idea excited me. So May 30th, I think it was, 2017, that I think was my first post. My sister came out with her camera on our deck at my house back home and took a couple pictures of me. I did like a side-by-side with two pictures I liked in like a tank top, all planned out very meticulously, and ended up posting that picture, said like, hey, this is my fitness page, blah, 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 you know, classic intro post. That was my first post ever, and from that day moving forward, up until very, very recently, like a month or two ago, so for roughly like a year and a half, from that day moving forward, I posted at least once every single day on Instagram. So it sounds like a lot. I really just made it into a habit. I wasn't planning on like never missing a day, but I sort of came to find that the more consistently you're able to put out that content, the more the people that follow you can like rely on it coming to them, and just the more effective your page will be inherently, because you are consistently putting stuff out, so your followers aren't like just occasionally getting a little bit. They actually have a consistent source of value in following you. So yeah, I just continued posting. I kind of monitored which posts got more likes, which I have my account set up as a business account, and I still do, so I can see the insights of my posts, which means I can see reach, impressions, like basically all these fancy words for like how many people like, comment, save my posts, how many people have seen it in general, how many times it's been seen, all these random numbers, and I could see that every time I posted, so I would know which posts specifically, you know, were seen by more people, which were seen by less. Because my page was public, a lot more people would see my posts than actually followed me, mainly from the explore page, also for like, you know, if they just happen to stumble upon my profile, things like that. But most of my posts would be seen by a couple hundred, maybe like 1,000 people occasionally. You know, I built it up to that point, but I wasn't gaining too many followers. And I noticed like one of my posts had a lot more views, a lot more impressions than any other ones, and it was like me in a tank top like holding some of the weights, and it had like something like 2,000. I was like, how do I get up to that point again? And I would post something and similar, but it wouldn't do as well. And to kind of skip ahead a little bit, I kept posting, I kept doing this, and I didn't really understand what got people so many followers. But what I would do is, and I heard this from somebody and I just started doing it, I would go to the following lists for like people who I followed that I kind of wanted to model my page after in a way, and I would just follow a bunch of people in their following list, like tons at a time, like hundreds in a day. And you know, a day of doing that would probably result in, I want to say, like 5 followers that stuck. It was crazy. It was super inefficient, and I thought just I had to keep doing that, and I did that for a while, but it really just was so ineffective until one day. So yeah, that post was still like the best one I had done. It had like 2,000 impressions or reach or whatever, and all of a sudden this one day I posted a transformation like side by side with a friend of mine who also works out, and it was like 2016, 2017, us in the same room, both shirtless, like kind of just this double transformation pic. And I posted it, didn't really think much of it. I wasn't expecting anything to come of it. And I like woke up the next morning after posting, and the reach was at like 11,000. And it was, the likes were just flowing in like they never had before. I was getting tons of follows, and it was like, I was so shocked because this had never happened. And you know, I don't know, I didn't fully understand it, but I thought it was like the most exciting thing in the world. And that whole day, it kind of just kept flowing in, and it felt so great. I was like, finally, like my work is being recognized. And it ended up getting a reach of roughly 90,000. And to me, that was like a whole new world of exposure. So that was pretty cool. It kind of, after that, I was like, oh, like, so that's how you get followers. You go viral, so to speak. So yeah, basically I figured out that the reason that image specifically got so much attention was because it was like clickbaity. So clickbait is kind of a big thing on Instagram. A lot of pages grow like a major following because they are so, like the posts that they put out are so clickbaity. So if you see that in your explore page, even if you don't like the content, even if you don't want to click, you just subconsciously are like, I gotta see that. Like I gotta expand that image and see what that is, or I gotta like take a look at that. You can't really explain it. There's no one thing that is clickbaity. There's no like specific set of guidelines, but there are certain formats of posts, certain styles, certain types of imagery that tend to be more clickbaity than others. So I would kind of just go about my post trying to be similarly clickbaity. I would do like transformations of myself, similar to that one, but like without my friend in them, and they would do not as well. They would do okay, and over time, you know, my reach slowly built up. I kept doing the like follow a bunch of people, unfollow. Really ineffective method, but I still was like relying on it. And then I think like one day I got another viral post, and it was like 20,000 reach, and I was like, okay, like I'm starting to get the hang of it. And I would kind of just slowly over time, I got better and better to a point where like most days I was able to go viral. So I would have periods of time with my page where, you know, I would have tons of posts, getting tons of exposure, tons of followers coming in. Like with that came a lot of like mean comments and, you know, unnecessary attention that maybe I didn't want, but I did get a lot of follows from it. Viral posts that I would put out, get a ton of followers. And as great as that was, as exciting as the numbers were, it like wasn't always quality followers. It was just people that saw an image that they liked, were like, huh, in the moment kind of just decided they would follow me, whatever. And like 9 times out of 10, those people wouldn't really care about what else I was putting out on Instagram. It was just kind of like a momentary decision for them. It's easy to follow somebody on Instagram, and that's kind of what was going on. So, you know, this kept happening for a while, and then I was doing really well with my page. Despite having like a lot of like not so quality followers, I did have a good solid core of followers within that. I would get pretty solid engagement, like likes and comments on my posts. And then fast forward to this past fall, basically this is where things kind of started to change for me. I was having a lot of success for a while on Instagram. I was experiencing steady growth, like an average of, I want to say like close to 10,000 followers a month. I was really like going up and up. And then I had been posting twice a day for a while over this past summer, so summer 2018. Then the fall came, so I got to school for my senior year and kind of slowly over the course of a couple months, my reach on my posts and my ability to grow my following just slowly declined, and my following was increasing by less and less, and then one day I just kind of was like waking up to less followers than I went to bed with, and it was going down, and I was like, why am I not able to reach new people anymore? What's going on? And I would try all these different things. I tried talking to so many people. Like, it seems petty, but I can't even explain the frustration that comes with having done so well on this platform for so long and then just kind of falling short. And honestly, to this day, I am still struggling with that plateau. I'm not sure if I'll be able to break past it, but yeah, it's been a couple months now, and essentially I have a good core of followers that still are able to see my stuff, that Instagram still shows it to, but in terms of reaching the Explore page, reaching new people, being able to continue growing my following at a steady rate, it's just not, it hasn't been feasible for me lately. I'm not sure if that's something I'll be able to fix in the future. I don't really know what the reasoning is. I don't know if it's just Instagram capping me at how I'm allowed to grow, but it's not, I'm learning to try and control the things that I can control as opposed to dwelling on something that, I've tried so many different ways to work around and it just hasn't worked. In a lot of ways, I think this was sort of a blessing in disguise. And what I mean by that is, I was really prioritizing just the numbers, like the follower numbers, the attention, the going viral, the growth. And I think that was kind of toxic to me in a way, because I got to this point where I wasn't experiencing that anymore. And all of a sudden I'm like bumming out, and it like hits me. I'm like, shit, like what am I going to do if I can't grow on just Instagram anymore? So it sort of spurred two different trains of thought within me. One of those was to diversify outside of Instagram. So, if Instagram did just like die one day and, was taken off the internet, what was I going to do? It was like, that was it for me. So I really, at that point, I kind of jumped onto YouTube. I was making videos on here for a while. Ended up stopping for a little bit because I wasn't a huge fan of the videos I was putting out. Now I'm trying to do videos that I like more, content that matters a little more to me, like this video I think is important to me, so that's why I'm sharing it. The other train of thought was just to, be in a better place mentally and recognize that like followers aren't everything. What's important is that I'm growing as a person. I am putting out content that I can be proud of. I'm helping people. I was still dwelling on the numbers, but I've come a long ways from that point, and now I'm at a point where it's okay if I don't grow my Instagram anymore. I have a big following. It's not easy every day. I'm not super happy with that. I'm not even able to reach like completely the following that I have, but it's okay. I'm still helping people every day. I'm still putting out content I'm happy with, and like that's pretty great. So I have a lot to be grateful for. I recently started working on my business, so I'm trying to become an online fitness coach full-time, making a lot of big decisions there. A lot of improvement already, even though I've just been working on it for like couple weeks now, almost a month or month and a half-ish, something within that time range. But I'm being successful outside of Instagram, and if Instagram changes in the future, then that's awesome. If not, that's out of my control, and I'm just gonna, love the following that I have, really strengthen that following, and diversify outside, just do my thing and control what I can control. Anyways, that's my story. Longer than I anticipated it taking to tell, but I really hope you guys got some value from that. The main things that actually got me followers were like going viral, and what I didn't mention was that you go viral and that gets the attention in the first place to your content, but if you're not putting out quality stuff and speaking to people and, offering them something that they can't get anywhere else, then that's like the core of it. Like you're gonna get followers if you go viral, but you're not gonna get quality followers if they don't actually like resonate with what you're putting out. So while going viral is important, it's not nearly as important as, really embodying your brand through your content and putting out stuff that you can be proud of. So I hope you guys found this video useful, interesting. I hope you got something from it. If you are trying to build a following on Instagram or on any social media platform, I encourage you to give it a shot. I think everybody is like realistically able to do it one way or another. It's just a matter if you're of if you're willing to put in the time and the work and learn as you go, and if you feel like you can actually help people on kind of a grand scale. And I feel like most people can, we just might not realize it. If you have any questions about growing on Instagram, about, you know, being a quote unquote influencer, or just anything that you want to know from me, please shoot it in the comments. I love getting engagement on YouTube from you guys. It's very cool. Any questions at all, any comments, whatever, shoot them below. I seriously appreciate you guys watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video if you did enjoy it, and feel free to subscribe to my page as well. I would really appreciate that. I'm going to try to put out as much quality content like this as I possibly can. Peace out.
Down to the sex game. Won't rap, but the boy been blessed.